dark side. Not impressed.
What's going on, man? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Darkstar, and I'm back with another one. And welcome to Darkstar Talks. So today I'm doing another segment. And first, when I originally was gonna do this one, I kind of was like, you know what? I'm thinking about going all in, but you know what? I think I'm gonna dial it back a little bit because just with I guess just really when I started really thinking about it, before, like as I made the title. And I just throughout the day while I was working, I really gave it a lot of thought. And like I feel like instead of me just kind of just being a dick about it, I think I want to kind of like I think I want to be a little more insightful with this one, you know? Because a lot of times, well, let me just start with this. Let me just start with the ultimate question with, you know, are we oppressed? Are we professional victims? Or are we victims in general? I mean, I'm gonna kind of just go off of my experience a little bit. Well, not really so much my experience, but just kind of everything that I've seen, just not just around me, but just everything I've just seen, like just with the media and everything. I'm gonna kind of get really just kind of break it down because right now, do I think we're oppressed? Nah, I don't think we are. I don't. In fact, I don't think anybody in this country is oppressed, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you a handful of reasons why you're not oppressed because we I think what it is a lot of times we're programmed to think we're we're oppressed because of shit like, our skin color or let's say, like your sexual orientation or like your gender identity, things like that, because it's like society has issues with, society has problems with things like that. But again, you're not oppressed because we live in a country where you can be you can start from being broke as fuck or just being dirt poor and become a millionaire and work your way up to become a millionaire or let alone billionaire. It doesn't matter what, and I'm using this term loosely. It doesn't matter what marginalized group that you're in. That doesn't matter at all. You can still become a millionaire if you work for it. That you could be anything in this country if you work for it. If you work your fucking ass off. Yes, I'm even talking about black people too. We can become anything we fucking want if we put the fucking work in. You know? And I can give you a couple of examples. Just a few examples. Um crap. I know two examples I can give. I can't really remember the names. But if I do come up with the name, if I do find those names again, I'll put it in the description. I'll put it in the description box. But just kind of an example. There's man, I can't remember the dude's name, but I know there's a guy. He owns a tech company, and he started with nothing and built his own tech company up, and now he's a multimillionaire. It took him years. It took him years just to get there, but he worked his ass off. Of course, every business you're gonna make mistakes along the way. And of course, obviously, he made his mistakes and worked his ass off, and now he he's probably one of the top earning black men in society. In fact, Dude makes more money than Jay-Z and Beyonce. So I should tell you something. There's even another dude who owns a an escrow company. Didn't get any type of outside backing. Started used his own money, started the shit up. And that dude is damn near almost a billionaire. So I mean, we can't really say that, there's things in society that's holding us black back as black people. You know, like I'll give you another example, and this one is probably a better example. And y'all probably gonna get mad if I say this name, if I say this person, but you know what? I don't care because he's a perfect example of Ben Carson. I know a lot of folks give this dude shit because I guess he's a conservative, but I don't give a fuck about all that stupid shit with conservative, liberal. I don't give a fuck for any of that. You know, I just don't. You know, but I'm gonna use him as an example. Perfect example. Dude was raised in fucking Detroit, like in the poorest part of Detroit, like in the 70s. And yeah, he grew up with his mom and his father, so he didn't grow up from a single mother home. So just got to put that out there. Dude wasn't really always that great in school, but you know what? He's always studying his ass off, you know, always, striving to be better. And of course, he graduated high school, went to college to become a doctor. And, mind you, we all know that medical school is expensive as shit. But he found a way to put himself in medical school, and he ended up becoming a surgeon. This dude worked his ass off to fucking become a surgeon. Not just any surgeon, but one of the best fucking surgeons in the fucking world. Like, this dude managed to pull off a fucking surgery with conjoined twins. They were conjoined at the head. So you already know when you have two twins that are conjoined together, their brains are going to be kind of connected too. And he performed a surgery to separate the twins. Now, before he did it, there was a lot of other doctors that tried, and he made one doctor was successful at it. I think I gotta really look into it, but I know a bunch of other doctors have done it, and when they've done it, either one of the twins ended up not making it through the surgery, or they both didn't make it through the surgery. I always, I gotta refresh my memory on that one a little bit more, but I do know that he studied his ass off. Read a lot of case studies, and I mean a lot of case studies before he went through with the surgery, because he already knew what the risk was, but he ended up taking that risk, and he managed to successfully pull the surgery off. You know, and that was a very risky surgery to be done in the 80s. Dude worked his ass off to get where he was at, and not to mention he not only became one of the first black doctors to run his own residency, but also, fun fact, he wasn't the first black, not just being the first black doctor to run his own residency, but he became one of the youngest at age 28. 28. Let that shit fucking sink in for a minute. Dude coming from fucking Detroit, worked his ass off, and fucking running his own residency at age 28. Come on, y'all.
Sabine!
Come on, man. Can't make this shit up. That's hard work right there. That's somebody that worked their ass from the bottom just to get to the top. You know? So y'all can't tell me that we're oppressed, or that motherfuckers are holding us back. Sure, there's barriers. There are barriers. but all barriers are meant to be broken. Okay? You're gonna have some small barriers, you're gonna have big barriers bigger than others. But you know what? If you really want it, you're gonna break through those fucking barriers. You're gonna find a way past those barriers. You know what I mean? You're gonna find a way past those barriers. Because I mean, we always have people coming from outside of the country every day, coming from third world countries, and they're making it. They're not taking fucking handouts. They're working their fucking asses off, and they're making it somehow. So it's like, if they can do it, what's our excuse? What's our excuse? Like, it goes back to something that anytime I used to watch Kevin Hart stand up. There was always a saying that he used to always say in the beginning, like before he goes on stage, and that everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to put the fucking work in. And you know, there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth that everybody wants to be famous. No one wants to put the fucking work in. You know, everybody wants to be at the top of the fucking food chain, but nobody wants to put the work in the foundation to get to the top of the food chain. You know? So again, I don't think we're truly oppressed. It's just what it is we're expecting a fucking handout. But that's not how the fucking world works. Like, if you really want to know true oppression, go stay in North Korea. Go to fucking China. Like, look, fucking, what's another country you can go to? Go to one of those countries in the Middle East. Go to any fucking communist country, and then come back here and tell me if you are oppressed in this country. Like, I just think what it is sometimes is that we are just so used to fucking being spoiled. Like, I think what it is, we're just spoiled. Like, we're not oppressed. You know, we're not fucking victims. And I even gotta say the same thing with the LGBT community. Like, y'all are not oppressed, y'all are not victims either. And I'm gonna explain this one too. Because with a lot of the publicity and shit y'all are getting, y'all have so much agency right now that y'all can fucking pretty much walk into the doors are pretty much open for y'all. So I don't want to hear it. Especially when you got motherfuckers like Jeffree Star owns his own fucking makeup and clothing company. You got James Charles owns his own fucking makeup line. Same with Nikita fucking Dragon. You also got the actresses from fucking Pose, and you even have Laverne Cox, who's a famous actress and an activist. But at the same time, she's an actress. She worked her way to get there. So I don't want to hear that bullshit from the LGBT community that y'all are victims and that y'all are being oppressed. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't. I don't want to hear that shit from y'all at all. And I'm really going a little hard on when I was talking about the black community. There's a reason I go hard on y'all. There's a reason I go harder on the black community because we've been in this country. We were slaves. True. We built this country. True. But you know what? We can say all that shit, but we don't act like it. You know what I mean? Like, we act like we're afraid of hard work. Like, we should know that the country that is built, that we're always gonna have the chips stacked against us, which is all the more reason why you need to stand out. We shouldn't be afraid to fucking compete. We want something, we need to strive for it. We should take more pride in ourselves. You know, we should take more pride in our fucking work. Sure, there's gonna be barriers, but that's gonna be in every fucking job that's gonna be in every little thing that we fucking do. There's always gonna be a fucking barrier. You gotta break it. We gotta break through that shit. You know? We should take pride in ourselves. We shouldn't give into this programming that we're oppressed and that we're fucking victims. Because again, we're not. We gotta stop telling ourselves that we're oppressed. We gotta stop telling ourselves that we're fucking victims because we're not. We're not fucking victims. We're not oppressed. Okay? I would say maybe our great great grandparents, yes, they were victims. Okay? Because of the shit they had to go through. We didn't have to go through that shit. They went through that shit so we didn't have to do it. So we didn't have to go through any of that crap. That's why, our parents went through some of that stuff. Because that way we didn't have to. That's why our parents worked their fucking asses off. So that way we didn't have to go through that shit. You know? Like we live in a fucking country where again, and I'm repeating this again, but I'm gonna say it again. We live in a fucking country where you could have someone that's dirt poor become a millionaire overnight, metaphorically speaking. You have somebody that could work at the lowest level and become a fucking executive, be a manager or an executive. You know what I mean? That's the type of country we live in, you know? So again, we're not oppressed. We're not victims. So let's stop acting like we're victims, you know? Let's start putting the fucking work in. Let's start doing the fucking work instead of sitting here waiting for somebody to hand some shit out to us. Like, I'm gonna say this much. I was raised by a single mom. All right. The one thing my mom always instilled in me as a kid was that if I want something, I gotta work hard for it. I gotta fucking work for it. I can't just sit there and wait for somebody to hand something out to me. No, if I want it, I need to work for it. I need to prove myself. You know, that's all we gotta do at the end of the day. We need to get out there. We need to work. We need to freaking prove ourselves, man. We can't be afraid to compete with everybody. You know, we can't be afraid to freaking work on the same level playing field as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We can't be afraid to do that. Yeah, I had to get that shit off my fucking chest. Like, that was like some shit that I've been holding back for a good fucking while. I've been holding that shit back for a while because I see it every day. Like, I always see a bunch of shit where it's like, oh, I didn't get the job because they're racist, or I didn't get the job because they don't like women, or I didn't get the job like this, that, and the other. Like, stop it. Stop it. Fucking stop. Like, you need to really go back and evaluate every single fucking thing. Because if you went in there, like, if you went, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, if you go into a fucking interview and you're wearing like fucking flip flops, pair of fucking jeans, and like a weird ass t shirt, and then you go into that interview and you're sitting up here thinking you killed the interview and they decided not to go forward with you, that's because of your presentation, because of your first impression. First impressions mean everything. That's just what it is at the end of the day. First impressions mean everything. Like the last job that I had before I quit that job and moved here, I was actually a team lead. And that position wasn't given to me. No, no, no. I had to fucking work my ass off. And mind you, it was mostly Latino people that worked there and maybe a couple of white people and a couple of black people that worked there. And in the section I was in, pretty much I was the only other black dude. It was like me and this other older black dude that's been working there longer than I did. And they offered the team lead position to me because I took the time and wanted to learn how all the equipment worked. I took the time to learn how to fix shit when shit was fucking broken. You know what I mean? And when we weren't doing shit, I was always telling people, Hey, look, make sure you're doing this, make sure you're doing that. Like, I was taking initiative. I wasn't sitting there on my fucking ass trying to collect a fucking paycheck. I was showing that I wanted to fucking be there. I was showing that, hey, I can do this, I can do that. I'm proving myself. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, the fact that they offered me a teammate position, they didn't have to give me that fucking position. They could have offered it to some other fucking person there that's been there longer than me. You know? They could have offered it to some other person, but they offered it to me. They extended the offer to me, and I took it. But like I said, the only reason I left that place was just because, just the work environment, it just, ugh. After a while, it just, I wasn't feeling it. Plus, the pay kind of sucked compared to what I'm getting paid right now. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, anyway, I just wanted to do a quick show. I just wanted to freaking just get that out. Meantime, I'm probably gonna go ahead and drop off. I do want to shout out freaking Big Greg for sending me that for sending me the give me that idea for that app. I really do appreciate that, bro. Like I really do. Matter of fact, I'm actually gonna start looking into it tonight so that way I can freaking get some ideas for another show. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Actually, you know what? I do know what I want to do a show on tomorrow. This one's gonna be more for the gamers. Like, yeah, I'm really gonna get into something about with live service gaming. Like, if you know what live service is, you know. If not, I'll go ahead and explain it tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna go ahead. Well, I'm getting into that. I might not be able to do it tomorrow. I'm probably gonna wait till Wednesday to do it, just because tomorrow I'm trying to collab with Big Greg on Tekken, so I want to see, if he's still down. If he is, we'll definitely go ahead and do a collab. We'll play a little bit of Tekken 7. I'll probably get my ass beat like a fucking ragdoll, beat like a fucking Cherokee drum. But you know what? Whatever. That's fine. If I get my ass whooped in Tekken tomorrow, I get my fucking ass whooped. Because I am rusty as hell at Tekken. So yeah, if I get my ass whooped, I get my ass whooped. Oh well. I can't really say that I'm that great at that particular fighting game, but I am pretty decent at fucking Street Fighter. So I mean, what's up? But yeah, I'm still real freaking out of it from work, so probably just gonna go ahead and just dip out for right now. Um, I'll catch you on the next one. Till next time, y'all be safe out there. And again, remember, you're not oppressed at all. You can do anything in this fucking world that you want to if you set your mind to it and you work for it. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you that you're a victim. Don't let anybody out there tell you you're oppressed. All right? You can do anything you want in this fucking world, especially if you work hard enough for it. Okay? Don't let nobody tell you different. Until next time, y'all be safe. Y'all have a good one.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.